Hello, everyone. Welcome. Early Monday evening here. And tonight we're going to be doing an Alamos Chardonnay from Mendoza, Argentina. Now, we spoke about Mendoza's known for the Malbec grapes. Okay, their wines, when we did the Malbec from Argentina, as I mentioned, you can almost throw a dart by any Malbec and you're going to have a good wine, and they're reasonable. They can go from $9 to 13, and then you get, which I like, is the Luca, which is like $35, but that's a fabulous wine. Now, back to the Chardonnay. We're doing a Chardonnay tonight, okay? Now, Argentina got most of their grapes, vines, in the mid 1800s from the French, when the French came in and grew wines there, and it's the perfect climate for it. You have the cold nights, warm days, intense sun because it's high altitudes. Okay, the vineyards they're right in the Andes Mountains, foothills of the Andes. Matter of fact, that's where the water comes. Their irrigation's mostly done from the rain from the snow-capped mountains. So you got these beautiful snow-capped mountains in the background, irrigating the properties, and long days, beautiful evenings, and cool nights, so it's conducive. And we mentioned before, like the Chardonnay grape worked in France, the mountain range, right? This is the same thing with the reds and the whites. You'll see them, just like they do in California in some of the hills. Now, the winemaker here, it's an interesting story. This is, her name is Lucia Veteretti, and her parents worked the vineyards for 40 years, tended vineyards. She worked with her brothers and her sister as a kid working the vineyards, then ended up going to Don Bosco, not the one in New Jersey, but a Don Bosco in Argentina, which is the most prestigious agricultural college or whatever in all of Argentina. And she graduated that, and then she went into making wines. And she's been working with this vineyard for about 12 years. She has 4 young daughters. Her husband's a winemaker also. They have their own little vineyard where they own property. And she has 4 young daughters who they kind of work the wines, doing like her parents and she did it with her brothers and sisters. So, we always say to wine families, they just keep going and going. And this is another thing where a lady came in, and now she's the head winemaker. And Alamos is another one. They make 90 plus wines or better almost all the time. They're 90, 91, 89. This got a 90 from Robert Parker. Now, and 91 from James Suckling. Now, Robert Parker is one of the more critical. You very rarely, if Robert Parker recommends a wine, it'll be one in 1,000 where it's not up to where you believe it, where he puts it on. He's very good. So, and this wine is the fermentation there. Okay, what they do is they do stainless steel fermentation. Then they use oak barrels for 2 to 4. Not 2 to 4 years, but 2 to 4 year old oak barrels is where they put their Chardonnays in. Okay, so they're putting their Chardonnays in 2 to 4 year old barrels. They're keeping them there for about a year, 8 months. They put them in the stainless steel fermentation. They also use a malolactic fermentation. A lot of wineries use it. What they do is they breed. They take the yeast and they work with the yeast and they play with the wine. So this wine, they put 20% of it. They take it out and they work with the yeast. They play with the wine a little bit, so they make it more buttery, or they can play with the rains and the waters. And okay, now this is, we're going to pull this right here. This is a 2016. Okay, and I would think this should drink not as oaky as a lot of Californias. It's got a pale yellow. Well, not a little darker than last night. Just a little more. That's what I expected last night out of the Washington. This is a little deeper than like a light straw yellow. It's a little deeper. You're going to have good fruit here. I think this is going to be a lot of the because they let the grape can sit there and ripen in the winter, you know, and 2016 was not the easiest season, but they came out with some extraordinary wines. You know, they worked with it and they conquered it. Got the pear of the apple smell right off the bat. Okay, the floral. It's clean. A little bit, I don't want to say butter, but just an ever so slight rollover of like a butter ramen. You know, it's a bigger wine than last night. Okay. This wine sells for $11 or $12. I mean, you can't find 11. If you type in Robert Parker, a 90 or better, $11, you might come up with two. Now, if you put in 90 or better, $50, then you'll get some. This has got good balance. Yeah, this is nice. This is a nice, enjoyable wine. You know, it's more of a, like a butter, more of a, I don't want to say a meal versus a wine, but it's got a little texture to it. It's got a little structure. It's not like well, a Chardonnay is going to be that way. It's going to be more than a Fumé. Chardonnay is going to be a little bigger than a Sauvignon Blanc. But this wine, this is a little, almost like an unoaked, but it isn't an unoaked, okay? Because the vines from France, they took their vines from France, and the vines in France are less oaked than California vines. But this wine it's got just a touch of oak. I mean, you don't smell it, well, a little of it, but you got a little in there. Pour a little more in it. It's got something, I don't know, it's fig maybe, or this would be great with us. This is good with a salad. This is good with chicken, grilled chicken. This is good with nice cheese. You know, you can do a cheddar with this. You can do brie with this. This works nice. It's a nice wine. You could do roasted vegetables, pasta. Yeah, this works. This would cut a pasta too, you know. And I tell you, I love the story of the family. You know, here's a kid who worked in the fields with her parents, and now she's the head winemaker. She's been that way since and it's not a fluke. She came in she's been working there 12 years, the last 3 or 4, but the last 5 or 6 years, they are 90, 91s, 90s, 91s. The Malbecs, they make a Malbec, they make a red blend, okay? They make the Chardonnay, they make another white Tatara, and I tell you what, you walk in, you see Alamo, you buy it, you'll always be pleased. So, listen, have a good night. I think we'll do another white tomorrow. Tomorrow we might swap it up a little. Tomorrow we might do a Pine Valley white, okay? Walking through the whites, as they say. Well, listen, take care. Thanks for having me in your home. And, let's, one more day, another day, we keep going. Let's keep smiling. You know, think of the glass as half full, not half empty. And remember, as much as you can, isolate. Not isolate, but don't be visiting, okay? You know, stay your distance from people. And we're going to make it through. And this will be, let's hope this continues at the path we're going. It'll be welcomed by all if it gets better and better, especially all our heroes out there, okay? So, take care, God bless, and don't forget to pray, okay, for all those that are helping us. Thank you. And salute to all the mothers in the home tutoring. You can have yourself a little more like that. Sit back for 20 minutes, enjoy a nice white. Take care. Bye-bye.